Hello there. The purpose of this tutorial is to help with the Autumn Pumpkin Duo. This particular starting foundation row is going to be for the cabled version of the pumpkin. The pattern also includes the ribbed version of the pumpkin. This cabled version is worked in the round, which as we start this foundation row, you're probably wondering how we're going to work this in the round. But what we're going to do is once you do your chain out and then your half double crochets back, when you get to the very end and you've done your last half double crochet of the row, we are going to bring, without twisting, bring the end of our row. See, we've not twisted it, so we're going to bring the end of our row here. Our next stitch, which is the first stitch of row 2, is going to be done in our first half double crochet here from the other end. So then we can start working around and around and around and get our cylinder that comes up with cables to make our pumpkin. So let's go ahead and do that single crochet in that first stitch. So now we've connected our two ends, and you can make sure that stitch is nice and tight so you don't have to worry about them coming apart. The other thing I like to do is put a yarn needle on the end of our long 12-inch tail here and weave it through the bottom of that same stitch just to give it a little extra security. So that's how we're going to be attaching our yarn together so that it's not twisted. It's all nice and one direction, in order to start building our stitches up by going around and around and around. So row 2 has you doing your one single crochet first, which we just did to connect the two ends, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet. If you have never worked a front post stitch before, instead of working in the top loops, we're going to be working within the body of the stitch. So this is the body of the stitch, and this is the loop that belongs to that stitch. So here are the top loops of the next stitch, and this is the body of that stitch. It's always kind of off to the left just a little bit. So let's go ahead and do our first front post double crochet together. We will yarn over, and we are going to go behind the body of the stitch just like that. I hope you can see that okay. We're going behind the body of the stitch. Instead of through the top of it like this, we're going behind the body of it and coming out the other side of the stitch. We will grab our yarn, come back through, and finish our front post double crochet. So it's a double crochet, it's just in a different spot. It's in the front post rather than the top of the stitch. We're going to do 4 of those in a row. So we'll go to our next stitch, go behind, yarn over, bring it through, and complete that double crochet. So now we have 2, and these will kind of stick out towards you a little bit more than a regular stitch would. Behind, yarn over, finish that double crochet. So now we have 3. We need 1 more, yarn over, behind the body of that stitch, come back through and finish that double crochet. Our next stitch is a single crochet. This can be a little tough to find because this is the body of our next stitch. The top of it is going to sit just to the right of that stitch. So it almost feels like it's a little behind this last front post double crochet that you made, but it is sitting right there just to the right of the body of the stitch. So we're going to go ahead and perform a regular single crochet in that stitch. So then we have 4 more front post double crochets. We're going to skip the body of the stitch we just did the single crochet in, and we will do 4 more front post double crochets. So see, we skipped the body of the stitch that the single crochet's in. Here's our last from our first 4, and here's our first from our second 4. So we'll just carry on like that all the way around the row. In fact, there's 3 rows identical, just like that. And then we get to the fun part, the twist of the cable, which looks and feels very weird. So we've done our 4 front post double crochets. Now here's the next body of a stitch. So the top of it is just to the right. So we'll go ahead and carry on like that all the way around 3 times, just like your pattern calls for. And then we will work on the twist together once you get to that point. Okay, we are back. We are done with our first 3 rows. Well, actually, it's the first 4 rows, but our first 3 rows of front post double crochet. You can see now how they're raised up in front of the single crochet. So your single crochet stitches in between groups of 4 sit back. And we are ready to move on. Now it's gonna get a little weird here. If you've never done cables before, it feels very strange. It looks messy, it looks wrong. Just bear with me because it will be beautiful, I promise. So we are going to, I completed my last front post double crochet right here. So I need to start row 5 with my single crochet. Now we are going to skip these 2 stitches and we're going to make 2 stitches in these 2 stitches. Okay, so we're going to skip over these 2 and work treble crochets, front post treble crochets into the second 2 front post double crochets of this group of 4. So treble crochet, we're going to go around twice. So a double crochet is once, treble is twice. So we're around twice. We're going to skip 1, 2. We're going to go in through the front post of that 3rd front post double crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, through 2, pull up a loop, through 2, and there we go. Okay, not pull up a loop, yarn over, sorry. Again, into the next stitch, same thing. Treble crochet through the front post, yarn over, come through, yarn over, through 2 on the hook, yarn over again, through 2 more on the hook, yarn over again, and through the final 2. All right, see how those are crossing over? Now we're going to go back and work treble crochets into our 2 skipped stitches. So yarn over twice, go into that first stitch, come through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And again, one more time, yarn over twice, in through the front post, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through the final 2. Then you have a single crochet, of course, next. So that's what we're left with. And it looks really wonky and smooshed together, but we're gonna flatten it out on the next round and it's gonna be really pretty. So keep up with that one time around all the way back to the beginning. And the beginning is easy to see because your tail's there. So you know your tail is right before the single crochet that is the first stitch of every round. Let's do one more group of 4 together and then you can finish out this round yourself. Treble crochet, we're skipping 2, skip, skip. Here's our 3rd, in through the front post, yarn over, and finish that treble crochet, front post treble crochet. Again, into the 4th stitch. Finish that front post treble crochet. Now we're going back to our skipped stitches. and our single crochet after we're done with those 4 stitches. So this is kind of what we're left looking like at this moment. The next round, we will stretch these out a little bit and do 4 front post double crochets again. And it will kind of flatten the twist and pull these 2 stitches that are behind out to the right and up. So go ahead and finish this round, and I will see you back here for the beginning of the next round. All right, here we are at the end of our first twist round for our cables. Hopefully you're still with me and you haven't abandoned the project. That row can take a little bit longer than some of the other ones. This next one can also take a little bit longer than some of the other ones. But stick with it because it makes a really, really cute pumpkin. So, okay, we finished our last front post treble crochet. So I need to start this round with my single crochet in the single crochet row, column. Now we're going to go back to front post double crochets just like we did on these 3 rows. Right here, we're repeating these 3 rows. Now, but this first one is a little tricky because we're kind of working behind the 2 stitches that are laying on top. So let's go ahead and yarn over, and we are going to grab that first stitch that's behind. We're going to do a front post double crochet in that. The second one is always the toughest. So yarn over, you gotta kind of push through and then grab it like that. Okay, so again, it's sitting back there, right there. So you gotta kind of push through and find it there, and then finish your front post double crochet. Now we do our 2 that are laying on top. So front post double crochet, front post double crochet, and next of course is our single crochet. So this is what we're left with. See how our cable is starting there? And then we're going to do 2 more rows just like this on top, so we'll get a nice in between twists, we'll get a nice section of front post double crochets to separate those twists. So that's how your twist is going to look. Let's do another one. Yarn over, grab that first stitch underneath, finish your front post double crochet, and that second one again is the trickier one because it's really hidden back there. I stick my hook through and then I try to grab it with the hook like that. Finish that front post double crochet. Now the 2 stitches laying on top, front post double crochet, front post double crochet. So now we have 2 there. Making cables is really fun. They make beautiful blankets. The pumpkin, they're perfect because they almost naturally separate it out into sections, you know, like the ribs along the side of the pumpkin. So it really lends itself well to a pumpkin shape. So you're obviously going to carry on with that all the way around this row, and then 2 more rows just like it, which are a little easier because you're not dealing with hidden stitches anymore. And then you'll do another round of twist and carry on just like that all the way till the end of the pattern. So I hope this was a little helpful, a little bit more of a visual aid for cables than words can describe. They're not the easiest things in the world to describe in words. So I really wanted to make sure that it was clear the method of construction on these. So I cannot wait to see some finished products either on Instagram or in the Facebook group. Email me if you have any questions or reach out via the Facebook group or Instagram. And I hope you have lots of fun making fall cabled pumpkins, and the other pumpkin in the autumn pumpkin duo is the ribbed pumpkin, and that one's really fun. Those really kick out quick. These take a little bit longer, but they've got a little more to them. So thanks so much for watching.